What comes to your mind when I say the phrase holistic medicine? Some loopy old woman burning sage over an amethyst crystal? Maybe a sleazy door-to-door salesman trying to peddle his snake oil tonic? Or do you think of Hildegard of Bingen, the 12th century German saint and founder of scientific natural history?
Hildegard of Bingen was prolific in everything she turned her hand to. Experiencing supernatural visions as a young girl, her parents dedicated her to the local monastery, where she dedicated her life to being a writer, composer, philosopher, mystic visionary, and as already mentioned, medicinal healer.
Yeah, when she wasn't busy being a multidisciplinary prodigy, she spent her free time creating her own language, as you do, which was a combination of ancient Latin and her native German. This woman was a whole other level of smart.
And not only was she super smart, she was highly creative. She's still today one of the best known composers of medieval hymns, as well as being the most recorded in modern history. Her vast catalogue of songs were revolutionary in both melody and lyrical form for her time.
She's also the playwright of history's oldest surviving morality play. It was a musical drama written entirely in Latin, comprising of 82 original songs, and is believed to have been performed by her fellow nuns, with her lifelong teacher and prior of the monastery, Father Volmer, having performed the non-singing role of the devil.
But despite this impressive back catalogue, Hildegard's most significant writings are her 3 volumes of mystic visions. In these books, the last of which was completed well into her 70s, Hildegard first describes each vision, whose details are often strange and enigmatic, and then interprets their theological contents in the words of the voice of the living light.
Now, I know what you may be thinking. Mystical visions, enigmatic signs, extra-biblical prophecy. She's a witch, burn her! But just hold on, because Pope Eugenius III sent a commission out to Germany to investigate Hildegard and these writings, and the commission found these writings were actually legit. And after the Pope sent Hildegard a letter with his own blessing.
Near the end of her life, she wrote a letter to her male secretary, who would later become a saint himself, which described her experience of these visions. From my early childhood, before my bones, nerves and veins were fully strengthened, I have always seen this vision in my soul, even to the present time, when I am more than 70 years old, as the sun, the moon, and the stars appear in water. So writings, sermons, virtues, and certain human actions take form for me and gleam.
Establishing herself as a renowned female preacher, Hildegard transcended bans on women's public interpretation of scripture. The acceptance of preaching by a woman, even a well-connected abbess and acknowledged prophet, does not fit the stereotype of the 12th century. But Hildegard's preaching was not limited to monasteries. She preached publicly and even conducted 4 preaching tours throughout Germany, speaking to both clergy and laity. A common feature of her sermons were denouncing clerical corruption and calling for reform in the church. What a woman.
Hildegard's writings on medicine are still referred to today by some experts. Through her experience in the monastery's herbal garden and infirmary, as well as extensive information gained through the monastery's library, she combined the physical treatment of diseases with holistic methods centered around spiritual healing.
She eventually became equally well known for her healing powers, involving the use of tinctures and herbs and precious stones, and trained other nuns through her exhaustive compendium of writings. She combined these elements with a theological notion, ultimately derived from Genesis, that all things put on earth are for the use of humans.
So here's to Hildegard of Bingen. Benedictine abbess, polymath, writer, composer, philosopher, mystic visionary, medical healer, and all-around overachiever.
Come on, Hildegard.